Hello, Blitz fans. This is There Can Be Only One plane in a T28 Prototype. Now, this tank is it's a decent tank, but you really have to get familiar with it because it's super slow for a tier 8. Even the VK100, I think, moves faster than this tank. Um, so let's take a look. I am running the tier 10 gun on it. It's a 122 millimeter. Average penetration is 260. APCR 312. High explosive 66. The armor piercing damage alpha is 400, which is pretty nice for a TD. Compared to the other TDs, not as much, but the reload isn't too bad at 9.22. So at 400 damage, I mean, it does pretty well. High explosive at 515, which I hardly ever use HE in this tank. I seem to do better with just using a regular AP. Alright, and of course I have the tier 8 turret, and as you can see, the engine is a tier 6. A tier 6 engine in a tier 8 tank. Well, I mean, given it's a TD, you're really not going to be running around the map, but at the same time, it really needs a buff on the engine. Trying to get to your spots and help the team out can be quite difficult, and once you commit to an area, you're pretty much there. You're not going to run to the other side of the map trying to save somebody. It's not going to happen. Um, but the gun is really good, and it does have a turret that traverses. It doesn't go all the way around though, so if you're trying to shoot behind you, that's not going to happen. Once the gun gets to the back side over the corner edge, it stops. So just be aware of that. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a gameplay. If I can navigate my way through here, since they changed everything up. Alright, so I'm going to be playing in Oasis Palms. So let's take a look at this game. This was a really interesting game while I was playing because, you know, I always watch the mini map and, you know, try to see what's going on. But teammates seem to be disgruntled, I would say. Now, the AMX was going to go with the heavies, and I kind of bumped them and said, nah, let's come out to A. So I'm moving out towards the dunes, and the reason why I'm moving out towards the dunes is if any of the other players needs assistance, and this tank does really good against the mediums and lights putting damage in, so I'm going to give them help. And plus, being in the dunes in an American tank is good because this frontal armor is really strong and I have good gun depression. So this is where I would, you know, want to be on this map. And plus there was a chrono player, and you know, if you're familiar with chrono, you know that they're decent players. So I want to assist him. Now that shot I kind of threw out there. I should have waited because patience is key in the game. I see too many players rush in and they die. They spot someone they want to run in and get shots in, and well, it's not a good thing. And the poor Tiger P's out there by himself. I can't help him. I can't get out there quick enough. So, only thing I can do is be patient. And as you can see, the Chrono player has done flanked, which that's something I don't see much of in these games. Everybody seems to roll together and they don't understand how important flank is. See, because now their teams have to turn around and go after that LTTB. So I want to aim in my shot, take out that low health tank, the AT8. And the reason being is because, you know, for every gun you take out, that's one less shooting back. Alright, as you can see, I got quite a few bounces. You know, that's 760 hit points I bounced. The T28, I really don't know what he's doing sitting out in the open like that. I mean, I know he's a heavy, but yeah, you still have weak spots. And in a few seconds, you're going to see what happens to him. So I'm just getting what shots I can at the moment. Focusing on that E4, tracking them. I've done missed quite a few shots. I've been having a bit of a lag issue on shooting. So when I click my mouse button, a lot of times it takes a second before the gun will shoot. It's really aggravating, but I'm just trying to adjust to it. Now you can see the accuracy is not that great. And there we go. I tracked him, keep him from running in. I did take a shot there, finally got hit. And I'm just going to keep shooting. The red team's being very aggressive. And, you know, our AMX is doing his job by spotting them up, because if he didn't spot them up, I wouldn't be able to get these shots in. So our two lights, you know, the Chrono player, the LTTB, and the AMX is doing what they're supposed to do, is spot, you know. And as you can see in the chat, you know, players are just going at it, calling names, telling what to do. Even though we're winning the game, and they're still unhappy. I guess because they died early in the game. And you know, we're gonna win this. We're gonna either win by points or me just killing them all. And as you can see, this gun on this tank is really nice. I love it. But the maneuverability is quite bad. So that's why I pretty much stayed in this spot, because I can't really just move around the map. I'm going to track this guy and put more shots into him. And got another bounce. That front armor is really strong. So I'm trying to keep my lower plate hidden, because that's the weak spot on this tank. I got good gun depression, and as you can see, even down that hill, I got him. And that's basically with the gameplay. And as you can see, I got a mastery in this. You know, got Top Gun, got high caliber, and plus some other badges. You can do really well in this tank if your team does well and they play the way they're supposed to. You know, I did just shy of 4K damage, which is really nice, and killed 4 players. And as you can see right here, the Chrono player, kudos to you, bud. You did very well. You did your job. And even though this AMX didn't do a whole lot of damage, but what he did do was help me take out all those tanks by keeping them spotted. Uh, I mean, AMX, kudos to you as well. Couldn't have done it without you. So don't always get down on these light players, because if they're spotting up, they're doing what they're supposed to do in those tanks, and they're helping the team out. So, anyways, I shot 24, which is a lot in this tank in a game. You know, normally I don't get to shoot that many shots. So I ended up having 15s that actually pin. Um, Out of 5 tanks I shot at it, I destroyed 4. Um, Hits received 8, and only 3 of them penetrated me. 5 of them bounced. 5 shots. That's that's pretty good. So, as you can see, you know, I took out the AT7. Um, I didn't really put a whole lot of hit points into them, but I went ahead and took them out. That's just one less tank in the game. And the KV4, which you saw at the end, and this E4, I kept hitting him, and then I took out the Predator, which is a collectible tank. Really don't like those tanks, but some players seem to do well in them. I never cared for it, didn't want to spend my money on it, so that's alright. And then the KV3. Now, the red team was a little too aggressive. You know, at the beginning, you know, they rushed in, and which was good on their part, because um, we didn't have a whole lot of players out there on that side of the map, which allowed them to do that. But once they started coming out towards the dunes, I mean, there really wasn't much they could do, and then they tried to rush in, and it was just bad for them. They should have just capped C and B and held it, and they could have won by points. But they was wanting to get those kills, so they rushed out into the dunes and then gave me an opportunity to just go ahead and take them out. So that was the gameplay. I had fun playing it. Thank you guys for watching. This is There Can Be Only One signing out. Happy hunting.